How to release your dreams. COSM technique. You can't stop the moment, and you can't speed it up, but you can make the world beautiful. Realizing all your childhood dreams. Eric Sharipov. Where do dreams come from? We don't know. Who doesn't want to realize their dreams? Everyone wants both child and adult. But if we face the truth, where are our dreams of the past now? Why haven't they been realized, or only crumbs of them have been realized? This book is about how to free and save your dreams from oblivion. We all know how to dream, but if we knew how to realize our dreams, our lives would be different. We delight in acquiring things that bring convenience and improvement to our lives. And that's not a bad thing, only it's the tip of the iceberg that our dreams can provide. It's the potential that's been sleeping in us for years. This book is about the accomplishments that await us behind the simple actions of the COSM methodology. It's for you if you're tired of tolerating that your dreams are always in the past and you've decided to do something about it but don't know what yet. We will look at what dreams are and what power is in them. Why the Slavs have a special meaning, revealing themselves in a special way. We will look at the resources needed to realize a dream and the tools. On the hindrances that hold it captive and the special structure of dreams, which I call the facets of dreams, having understood which you can easily protect and not lose them. We will talk about the influences on us that cause our dreams to be powerlessly lost in the chronology of our lives, and how to resist these influences or events, how to fight for your dreams. You will create your bastion of a home for your happiness, free from deceptions and counterfeits. What are you willing to do to realize your dream? We live in constant pursuit of better things. Life offers options and we make choices for the best according to our values. A person's worldview is made up of values accumulated over a lifetime. Dreams are the embodiment of the ideal of our values. Dreams are a great desire that is not easy to fulfill. There are many examples of people who realize their dreams in creativity. Composers, writers, directors develop new ideas through dreaming. Scientists and researchers have also brought fresh ideas into this world by dreaming. Freud, in his Psychology, considered dreams to be reveries just like dreams, expressed in the suppression of instincts. This is a misconception that is reflected in the Western world, which we will discuss in more detail later on. Dreaming is not the suppression of the instincts of the body. On the contrary, it is the action of the instincts of the soul, the unfolding of the capacity to create. When God created man, he created us in his image and likeness, as it says in Genesis in the Bible. What man resembles God is the ability to create, and this seed is inextricably linked to the dream. Freudian psychology states that the dream state is between wakefulness and sleep, in English. Dream and dream is one word. This is the difference from our understanding. We have a different mentality. It is interesting that science has long been interested in the study of this phenomenon, although modern scientists do not consider Freud a scientist, but however his interest shows the relevance and importance of our topic. In what Sigmund was right, so that dreams come from childhood, like new superstructures built on the Egyptian pyramids or ancient ruins, which served as a foundation for later buildings. On life's journey, we inevitably encounter opposition. Circumstances and surroundings may say your dream will never come true. My youngest daughter Amelia, when she was 4 years old, once said, "We just don't know if the dream will come true." It hit me. Indeed, we don't know if it will come true, neither do we have the right to make a judgment that it won't come true. After all, we don't know that. We don't have the right to give up on the dream. It deserves a chance. What are dreams? For our ancestors, the word dream meant to see. Dreams are feminine like the muse. It decorates life with new colors and inspires to accomplishments. At the same moment, the dream is a mystery. Even the great Russian language, although not more great than others, comes to a standstill when trying to present the word dream in the genitive case plural. No one can explain how dreams are born. Sometimes there is no reason for it at all, but there is a dream. Psychologists say that a dream is a special kind of imagination about the future, creating new images, and that the dream expresses the desires of man. The dream is the potential power of our achievements, the abode of our best hopes. In this book we will talk more not about the nature of dreams but about how to realize them. What holds dreams captive and how to set them free. What better way to talk about in the introduction if not what most prevents dreams from being realized? Alexander Dumas said the most easily realized dreams are those that are not doubted. Indeed, doubt captivates dreams. Doubts help to put them away. If you doubt whether you need to realize your dreams, this book is unlikely to be helpful. Even so, you will be interested to know amazing stories of how dreams transformed people's lives. Some of them are quite famous, others not so much. But as usual when reading, we think more about ourselves and try everything on ourselves. So let as many beautiful dreams come true in our lives as possible. There's a lot of literature out there about achieving success, setting goals and objectives, and being productive. Of course, someone dreams of doing things more efficiently. And in general, all books help to realize dreams in some way. If we dream of learning to cook better, we buy a recipe book. I used to buy self-taught computer books. I think each of you also, for realization of your dream, though small, also bought some book. But I have not met a book that would help me globally realize what I want. After all, there are many dreams and they are different. We need a book that will be like a bailout wand, able to help in different areas of life. and its methodology should be like a Swiss knife to have functionality suitable for solving various problems. And there are already books about goal setting, which people set themselves often to achieve wealth. There are books about time management and productivity. However, the vast majority of it is business literature talking about accomplishing work tasks. Life is not just about work, it has room for family, hobbies, and personal space. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a metacognitive distortion in which people with low skill levels draw erroneous conclusions, make bad decisions, and yet are unable to recognize their mistakes due to their low skill levels. A person is heard to be wise not because he does not make mistakes, he is wise because he corrects a mistake as soon as he notices it. Lack of knowledge prevents us from realizing our mistakes. This is part of the reason why we try to fulfill our dreams and fail. We make mistakes. Why we can't fulfill our dreams is more a matter of lack of knowledge. The reality is that you can learn how to do things the right way. Learn on your own through trial and error. This is the natural progression of any scientific approach. We can also learn and gain knowledge from other people, of course, while filtering and adapting to our own needs. Knowledge in our lives is of utmost importance. They are vastly undervalued. If you know how to achieve a dream and you do it right, you will fulfill it. If you don't know, chasing your dream can turn into a game of hide and seek. You will catch up with it and it will slip away again. In the book you will find how to get around the obstacles to the fulfillment of dreams. You will also fill your props with tools to help you realize them. Understanding yourself. Realizing what we want makes us happy, and desires that last for a long time are dreams. Happiness comes from realized dreams, and even just the presence of a secret dream and careful attitude to it can make a person happier. Some dreams are visible to us as on the palm of our hands, others are dusting on the back of memory. How to make sense of yourself. You choose your own dreams. Therefore, it is important for each of us to understand what we want, what our attitude is. Modern psychology as well as ancient religions suggest looking inside ourselves. Analyzing one's desires, subduing them and motivating them to noble aspirations is familiar to all ages. We will deal with the applied attainment and salvation of dreams. We will not delve into cultural specifics, but let us not deny the benefit of the experience of the labors of previous generations. We never moderate our desires. Having something we wish for the best. Chereskov. Understanding your dreams is impossible without understanding yourself. So how does one understand oneself? Different people use different ways to do this meditation, various trainings and religions, psychological tests. Often approaches contradict each other, it makes confusion. To understand yourself, it is not necessary to resort to esotericism and religion. When you go for a dream, there comes a certain moment, and you learn to jump higher. You force yourself to dig deeper. Something in you that you have never tapped into is dormant inside. Don't look for easy paths, do what you think is right. How do you reach a clear understanding of what I want and start moving forward towards your dreams? You can read a lot of books on how to become rich or how to lose weight, spend a lot of money on courses. But in the end, you can't achieve what you want. The proposed solutions often do not work. A person tends to compensate for the lack of dreams with surrogates, either from stupidity or from grief and despair in a cruel and unfair world. Alcohol and drugs kill millions of people a year while the sellers of happiness receive dividends from it. And this is in the world where there are institutions designed to help people, medicine, education, and others. Dream about what is not harmful to health, what does not violate the moral laws of society. In other words, let your dreams be good. When a young man expressed that it is a great thing to achieve what one desires, Menedem said to him, "It is a far greater thing not to desire what one does not need to desire." Self-understanding has an antidepressant effect and helps with future planning, creativity, and positivity. Whether a person will experience a positive or negative reaction from self-reflection depends on the content of the thought and the person's current mood. It is hypothesized that frequent negative rumination is closely related to a person's feelings of guilt and fear, as well as poor attention control in the past. Reflection: when we look at ourselves and our rumination, our actions and our impact on our surroundings, trying to see what we are guilty or right about is similar to the action of conscience and reason through thinking, perception. The output is decision-making and reaction to what is happening. Self-reflection is when a person's actions or thoughts are spinning and rehearsed in the mind. Reflexive daydreaming can be either helpful or harmful. Overfocusing on negative experiences in the past and potential negative events in the future causes increased negativity and a temporary decrease in positive mood. Life is like a big store. If you understand what you need, you want emotionally, buy everything at a discount. You won't fall for marketing gimmicks and you will take what you need. Understanding yourself is a key factor in realizing exactly what your dream is. There is no doubt that everyone lives for themselves to a greater extent, But we are not in isolation. Our actions and life events are mostly due to the presence of other people. There is no avoiding it. And our dreams have the imprints of other people, good or bad. If you are at peace with yourself and others, it is easier to put your dreams together like a jigsaw puzzle. But if you are broken and don't know what is going on, busy thinking about survival, conflict resolution, when dreams fall apart, it is extremely difficult for us to realize what we want and think about long-term investment of time in our dreams. Understanding ourselves builds consistency in diverse long-term actions aimed at achieving our dreams. When our thinking is holistic and independent of the raging ocean of circumstances and hustle and bustle, we find it easier to stay on course. For winners, life is like a cruiser that doesn't get swept away by big waves. To this, you have to grow not in understanding movie characters and studying the lives of idols. You have to build your story. So this book is not about fleeting dreams. It is a guide for those who don't just want to rattle on about dreams, but actually save them from ruin and achieve them. Mobilize your inner resources on a journey that will present you with unfamiliar questions and challenges. You will do things you have not done before and discover the unknown. This is not the path of dreams, it is the path of reality. Knowing yourself, you are ready to fight for yourself and your future. Or are you willing to surrender your dream to the ignorance of this world? Send it to the graveyard of dreams like everyone else. Now take a piece of paper and a pencil and write down what you dream about. All your dreams as they were and are. Do an archaeological dig of your life. Maybe some of them need resurrecting, or you can create new ones based on them. Some of the dreams you have already realized, be happy about it. And on others in today's state of the future you can realize in a few minutes, getting joy and saying to yourself, this is it. I dreamed so much about this before. Dreams are good and not. We want to free the dream. Will we fail to open Pandora's box? What will the dream lead us to? What if we dream bad things, things that can harm us or loved ones? A person falls into a trap when there is no danger in sight. What should be guided in the choice of dreams? Conscience, commandments, laws. Everything in the house can be used for good and bad, so it is with a dream. I hope our dreams will bring us joy and happiness. Otherwise, why do we have dreams? Isn't it true? It makes no sense to put our energies and life on a destructive dream. Of course, a big dream requires both time and resources. Something will have to be sacrificed. In the case of a destructive dream, will not only take away resources, but it will give nothing in return. There is an important phrase in the Bible, the blessing of God brings no curse with it. To exaggerate, good things do not actually bring bad things with them. Does this mean that we will not encounter difficulties and problems on the way to our dreams? No. I'm talking about the outcome if the dream is realized, whether it will bring happiness or misfortune. If you are guided by the 3 points above, you will be able to determine the usefulness of your dream and cut off all the unnecessary things. Jesus Christ once said, the tree is known by its fruit. If the fruit poisons life, it is a bad thing. If it does good, it is a good thing. That which oppresses people's lives, destroys families, destroys nations, that is darkness. That which brings joy, love, friendship, mutual assistance is light. The dark part of our soul wants to dig a hole and hide there from the light. The light part builds a house, strengthens the walls, and admires the world around us. Light is what has given life to people for all millennia. Looking from above at thousands of years of human history, you can see what was destruction and what was creation. You don't have to go far for an example. Look into your past, and older people can tell many stories about themselves and their friends. About those who have already died, some of them got drunk, others were killed by drugs, and some gave their lives in the line of honor. We remember the heroes of distant wars who defended our homeland. They gave their lives to keep us free. Many countries in Europe simply surrendered to the enemy, but our forebears sacrificed their lives for their own and our freedom. Many of them dreamed simply of a crust of bread and warmth, and they never got it. We sometimes dream of the obscene and fall into despondency when we don't get it. The great achievements of the past tell us what are universal values. Values that people had in all times. This is what my book Millennial Values is about. How to tell the difference between a real dream. From a big real dream, tears of sadness and joy, when we can't catch up with it and when we have caught up with it. We can talk for a long time about who we are. I think therefore I exist, philosophers say. Human beings are constantly on the move, and so is our thinking. We are busy thinking even in our sleep. The human mind is greedy. It can neither stop nor be at rest, but rushes on and on. Our thoughts reflect who we are. They influence our lives and determine our actions. Actions, reactions to circumstances define who we are. I would say create our being. Dreams are achieved by doing, which means the right mindset helps with that. Dreams are not an escape from reality, but a means to get closer to it. The greatest benefits of good dreams are revealed in the long run. Invest in the future. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Ignorance of one's needs, regardless of achievements, leads to wasted energy and frustration. In the media environment of video bloggers, there is a so-called burnout syndrome. Millions of subscribers and money seem to make a blogger happy. But a person burns out adjusting his rhythm of life to the created framework. After the highs, there are lows. Understanding what really makes us happy keeps us inward. If only conquering heights made people happy. My wish is that you strive to realize your lucid dreams. This thought runs through the whole book. We will talk about what will benefit us. It remains on the reader's conscience what he strives for. So in goodness and despite the difficulties, do not doubt you will reap your harvest. A turnkey dream. We seek happiness in what the storefronts offer. Responding to the needs, the counters and service market are filled with ready-made dream packages. Can turnkey solutions make us happy? Absolutely. Travel tours are an example, pizza delivery or ordering a cab, but does happiness consist only in consumption? The natives of Africa are happy without it. We derive happiness from receiving benefits. Fulfilling our needs makes us happier. It also defines value. From childhood, we learn to understand what is valuable. We adopt values and form our own understanding. It may not agree with our surroundings, but that's beside the point. The world offers us stereotypes in a beautiful wrapper. Trends in fashion intriguingly attract attention and new followers. The world around us defiantly shouts that it knows what we need to be happy. Whether it's a thing or status, education, career or money, cars, real estate or success, the appreciation of those around us. It can partly fill our needs. We are all human beings similarly designed, and our initial needs are also the same. But in reality, we see that a small crumb is enough for one and billions for another. It's all about satiety. Shopping dreams. Everyone is met with the feeling when the purchase you dreamed of after a while already is not happy. Why is it that the past me was satisfied but the new me is no longer? Time passes and we want better already. After all, it's normal to want better. Gradually our appetites grow. The problem is that in a consumer society we overestimate the role of things. Storefronts move to our homes as a warehouse of devalued things, and every one of them we once dreamed of. Shopping dreams speak of trying to achieve happiness at the expense of things. Things should only be a means to answer our needs, not a goal. Yes, they give us joy and that's a good thing. All in good time, there is a time for dreaming of a better phone. But that dream is narrow and temporary. Research says that we are prone to spontaneous emotional purchases. Therefore, we purchase things we don't need. Marketers have been taking advantage of this for a long time. You know how they always place bread at the far end of the store. They are counting on the ruse that we'll pick up what we didn't plan on buying on the way. There's a term for this phenomenon called extra sales, and it doesn't just happen with bread. In our search for what we want, we come across many offers. But what if it seems like we need it? The real dream answers our need. Ask yourself the question, can I do without it? If yes, we don't need it. In 2009, there was a movie that came out called The Johnson Family, who were undercover advertising agents. They advertised expensive things with their lifestyle. After meeting them, people start buying similar things. We live in a society where we accept other people's values. In modern times, this has taken a turn not seen before. In ancient society, there were no advertising technologies. There was no concept of consumer society. A person contributed to the community, exchanged values. Everyone had a significant role to play. Today, we can see this in the family. The path of dreams. Whether it is shows or pages of magazines, everything contains advertisements. People satisfy their curiosity by absorbing information. Media and mass media create new triggers for consumption. The world is divided into producers and consumers. On the one hand, it's not wrong to consume, to use services and goods. It's bad when we remain only consumers with an atrophied desire to do something ourselves, like realize our dreams. When everything is served ready on a platter, we start to consider it normal. It is our choice to be only a consumer or to also produce our own. The realization of dreams is a path of creation. Without the ability to follow our values and produce results, we cannot make it through the Vanity Fair. We will remain distracted by pretty signs. It doesn't take a lot of intelligence to consume, but production does. Doctor of Physical and Mathematical Sciences, academician of the Russian Academy of Sciences Vladimir Arnold wrote, American colleagues explained to me that the low level of general culture and school education in their country is a conscious achievement for the sake of economic goals. The point is that, having read books, an educated person becomes a worse buyer. He buys less washing machines and cars. He begins to prefer Mozart or Van Gogh, Shakespeare or theorems. This affects the economy of the consumer society and, above all, the income of the masters of life, so they are trying to prevent culture and education. Desired and actual. Many faiths condemn the ideals of consumer society, arguing that they diverge from religious dogma and destroy the mental and physical state of man with passions. In particular, Patriarch Kirill of Moscow and all Russia argued this position with the following argument: simple people buy a thing and rejoice, but unrestrained consumption takes away this joy. A person steals from himself. If the whole society takes the path of such unrestrained consumption, our land and its resources will not withstand it. It has already been proved that if the average level of consumption is as in the USA, the basic resources will be enough only for 40-50 years. God has not given us the resources to live like this. And if everyone can't live like that, what do these colossal property disparities mean? In 2012, internet users noticed Vladimir Gundiv wearing a $30,000 Breguet watch. We also find a discrepancy between what is desired and what is real in training. Why do books and trainings not bring the promised results? Theory does not always agree with practice. Knowledge obtained bypassing practice is often not based on reality. Modern education is unable to prepare specialists who meet the demands of the labor market. After graduation, we have to relearn how to work on the job. Real effective training comes during real-life practice outside the walls of an educational institution or online course. The internet is full of offers of various trainings with courses from gurus in all spheres of life. The vast majority of them exaggerate their merits, if not banal lies, blowing dust in the eyes and earn more. At the same time, ordinary people are left with false hopes for the best, falling for amateurs. The network is filled with teachers how to make millions, taking selfies against the background of other people's cars, and on vacation under a palm tree. Demonstration of wealth and easy carefree life along with promises of big earnings without much work I would call fraud. It takes a lot of hard work to earn legitimately. The hopes of the good bring happiness. The hopes of the wicked destroy everything.